Hello everyone, welcome back to Brains and Beauty. You guys really enjoyed the last video, which was where I unboxed and swatched all of my iridescent multichromes and the jeweled multichromes from Clionadh, and I also compared them to Terra Moons. So I thought I may as well just go ahead and swatch the rest of my Clionadh Cosmetics multichrome eyeshadows, which are mainly the glitter multichromes. This should be a shorter video than the last one because I'm not going to be unboxing and rearranging all the shadows, but I still want to try my best to show you really close up how the shades shift in their different colors. And I also wanted to do a comparison between one pastel multichrome that I have to the jeweled multichromes that I got as well. So let's get right into it. So this is my Clionadh Cosmetics Magnetic Palette, and this is how I have arranged the shadows. Here's a close-up look at them in the pans, and this entire video is going to be filmed with natural light, so I'm right in front of a window, and you can see that the first two rows are the glitter multichromes, the third row is the iridescent multichromes, and then I also have Opulent over here, which is a glitter multichrome. And then beside it is Cathedral, which is the pastel multichrome, and then I have my jeweled multichromes, and Gilding is the iridescent on the side. So that is my collection. In the last video, one of you also suggested that I could use a mirror, so I'll also try that out with the swatches. And I brought in a flashlight so we can really get a look at how glittery these glitter multichromes are. Now I do want to note before we get started that the glitter multichromes are cheaper than, for example, the iridescent multichromes or the jeweled multichromes, and both from my experience and watching other people talk about these shadows in their videos, it does seem like the price does dictate how much of a shift you're going to see. So the pricier it is, the more you're going to be able to really see the shift between the two shades. And that doesn't mean that these glitter multichromes aren't beautiful or that you can't see all of the shifts. It's just that it's going to be softer. So I am an aspiring scientist, so I do want to have a bit of a control variable. I feel like Gilding in the last video really showed its shifts very easily. So I want to have that swatched at the top of my palm just so that we can see in comparison how shifty the colors are. So with Gilding, you can easily see the gold, the blue, and the purple on the edges, as well. It's a bit of a silver, and there's the green in there too. So that is going to be our control variable. Okay, now let's get started with the glitter multichrome. So I'm going to start with Sunbeam. So Clionadh describes Sunbeam as having a sheer pink base with small medium glitter particles that shift pale, gold, lime, and turquoise. This shadow is $10 Canadian. So I feel like you can definitely see the pale gold and the pink base. The lime is softer, but you can see it at the edges. Okay, do you see how that's the gold and that's the lime? So those are the two shifts for Sunbeam, and I do see both of them here. Okay, let's look at the next shade. The next shade is Glazed. Glazed has a sheer lilac base with large particles that shift pink, orange, and gold described by Clionadh, and it is $10 Canadian. Okay, so I think with Glazed, it's actually really easy to see all of those shifts. So here you can see that Glazed definitely has that pink. I would say this is more of an icy pink. And then you can definitely see the gold. For the orange, I feel like I don't see this as clearly, but I guess the gold can go a little bit orange, but I wouldn't say that I see orange as easily on the eyes. I do really see that purpley kind of silvery shade, which is really, really beautiful. Okay, so now let's look at the next shade. Ciel is said by Clionadh to have a semi-pigmented sky blue base with large glitter particles that shift gold, green, and blue. And Ciel is $10. And I would say there's definitely that bright gold and the blue base. So here you can see the gold and the green shifts a little bit more clearly, and you can also see on my fingers. This I've worn on my eyes, and honestly, the best way that I can describe it is as if it's like the lake in the summer when the sun is just hitting it and it's sparkling this kind of pale gold, but you can still see the blue of the water. This looks like a sparkling lake in the summer on my eyes. So I really enjoy this shade. I actually bought Glazed and Ciel in my first order ever from Clionadh. I actually bought Glazed, Ciel, and Ornamental, and they're just really beautiful shades. Since we said sparkling, let's actually see with this flashlight if I can show you how sparkly these are. So definitely in artificial lighting you're going to see more of the sparkle, and in natural light you're going to see more of the shift. Enamel has a semi-sheer lavender base with small glitter particles that shift blue, violet to pink, and it's also $10 Canadian. So you can definitely see the pink, I think, and the violet. For the blue, it does pop out really strongly. Do you see that blue? And so again, I just wanted to note, like from afar, I feel like gilding still is the most shiftiest, but these, you can at least see 2 to 3 shades when looking at them like this. So we have all of these shades here. These are kind of the more lighter colors. So we'll move on to the grungy, deeper row. Blaze Clionadh describes as having a sheer orange base with medium glitter particles that shift peach, gold to lime. And this one is $11. So this is probably the prettiest warm tone shade I own. So you can clearly see the orange base, and you can see the peach gold kind of shift that it has. The lime, though, I would say is actually hard to see, even in real life. Maybe that at the edges is the lime, but again, I just don't think that the lime stands out. And this is still a beautiful shade, a very beautiful warm shade, but I don't see a lime in real life or on camera. The gold does become kind of more of a dirty gold, but I don't think that's a lime. Since we're struggling with this one, let's see if the mirror helps. maybe there. But I still feel like that's more gold than really a true lime. Okay, moving on to the next shade. This one is really special. I hope I can capture it. It's a really beautiful gold. Ornamental has a semi-sheer light brown base with small glitter particles that shift yellow, lime, turquoise. And Ornamental is $10. So you can definitely see the gold, but you can also see that green and the turquoise. See the green there. So the gold, the green, the turquoise, and I feel like there's even purple at the edges. Although they don't claim that, I feel like there is a really beautiful purple at the edges. I wore this in an eye look with just an olive matte in the crease, and it was so beautiful. We can see this one, but let's try with the mirror as well. Yeah, you can definitely see the green in the mirror. See how beautiful that shade is? That's like the coolest gold. So let's go on to the next one. Carving is described by Clionadh as having a sheer, grungy, light brown base with medium to large glitter particles that shift turquoise, indigo, violet to pink. And carving is $11. So definitely you can tell that this one has those particles that shift from the turquoise to the purpley pinky kind of shade. I would say because of the brown base in this one, we'll be doing Grisaille next, and I just want you to note that the brown base in this one makes the green pop out much more in the shadow. You can still see the purple on the edges, but because it has a brown base, I feel like even on my eyes, when I put this on my eyes, it just, the green really comes out. Grisaille is $10, and Clionadh describes it as having a semi-pigmented terracotta base with medium glitter particles that shift turquoise, indigo, violet to pink. So I hope you can tell the sparkle in both of these is the exact same, like that shift is the exact same. It's just that because this one has a terracotta red base, the blue is kind of like the center shift that's going to appear on your eyes, while here the green is going to be the center shift. So I wouldn't necessarily say you'd need both unless this was your favorite type of shift. But here's the comparison. The violet also seems more vibrant just because it's on top of that terracotta red base. But you can also still see that green in Grisaille. It's just that I feel like when I put this on the lid, that blue is much more of the center shade. So seeing these with the mirror, okay, and the last glitter multichrome. Opulent is $17, and Clionadh describes it as having a warm purple-brown base, almost rose gold, with medium glitter particles that shift orange, gold, green, and turquoise. Okay, I really hope I can do this justice because this is the most beautiful neutral shade to exist in my opinion. This is so gorgeous. So this has, exactly as they say, kind of a purpley brown base, so it's a bit mauvey, and it has the softest kind of champagne gold, but that champagne gold then turns into kind of a greeny gold, but it's not like a lime green, it's like a soft pastel-y green. Don't know if you can see that green there. Okay, do you see how here's the gold and over there is the green? It's such a beautiful neutral shade. I do also see the turquoise in this. I remember wearing this on my eyes and I saw that at the edges. So you can see a bit of that turquoise at the edges in the mirror. I love this neutral shade because the gold is kind of like a rose gold, but yeah, I don't think orange to me in real life or on camera really shows up. But yeah, those are all of my glitter multichromes. Now I wanted to do a comparison with Cathedral, which is the Pastel multichrome, with Forge, because I feel like I should have done that comparison in the previous video, so let's just swatch them. Cathedral is the Pastel multichrome, so it's $14 Canadian, and Clionadh describes it as having a grungy olive gray base that shifts pink, peach, and gold. So I think you can definitely see that grungy olive base with the peach shift. It's really beautiful. I do want to note that I think they're defining pastel multichromes as something like a faded out multichrome rather than as like a lighter multichrome. The base is lighter. This is a like gray base rather than the jeweled multichrome. So I'll swatch Forge next to it because I feel like these kind of have the same vibe to them where it's a green and like a warm shift with the green. So here's Forge next to Cathedral. And here you can see the shift. I wouldn't say there's much of a pink in here. I mean, there's a little bit if it's like a soft, warm pink, but I see it more as like a peach with the gold. I guess you can see the pink there. So this kind of really soft, pinky champagne tone with the gold. So that is Cathedral and Forge compared. And then maybe just to see, I think I'd like to compare these two purple shades because they were just something that I was searching for someone to compare when I was buying them. So I'm just gonna swatch Glazed again. So we see glazed here, and then I want to swatch Hex, which is one of their duochromes. That's a purple to gold shift. So here you can see that Hex has a much stronger purple undertone, and then the reflect is truly gold. While with glaze, you can see there's the pink, and there's that like cool tone silver and a gold. So the cool tone silver, gold, and the pink. With Hex, it is a duochrome, so it's just the gold with the purple base, but the purple base is much more grape-like in Hex than it is in glazed. And another thing to note, I really wanted that kind of purple to gold shift, and in some lightings, glazed does not look like it has any gold in it. It just looks like it has a very icy pink on top of a purple. That's not in all lightings, it's only in some lightings, so that's something you have to kind of realize about these multichromes. It's not that it's always on your lid, like you're going to see all the shades right after each other. It's rather that it's going to actually, so in some lightings it might look like you see all the shades, in some lightings you just see one shade and none of the other shades. So I did want Hex because I sometimes just want to always have a gold over a purple. So that's the difference between that duochrome and the multichrome glazed. And I do want to give you, again, a look at how glittery these really are. They're absolutely beautiful. You can see the glitter more with this flashlight. Oh my gosh, look at how amazing this looks. Okay, so that is my entire collection of Clionadh Cosmetics swatched, and also the Terra Moon shadows. So that is all my special shades. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you haven't seen the iridescent multichrome video, I'll link it in the eye. Definitely go check it out. That one, it was just, oh my gosh, every single iridescent shade just stole my breath away. Definitely, I've had a lot of fun making these two videos to show you guys all the swatches, and I'm planning, now that we've essentially done this video comparing all the swatches together on my hands, in future videos I'm going to start a series that's kind of like build your own palette, but my idea is that I'll essentially select 1 to 2 shades from here and then center that as like the main focus of the palette, and then I'll build using all my other shadows in my collection, mattes and shimmers, to kind of supplement and create a color story around those two really special shades. So for example, I really want to start off the series with, I've been craving this like maroon to lime green kind of color story. So I'm going to start off with Forge and Halo, because Halo is like a peachy lime green shift, and Forge also has that like deep red to lime green. And then I'll go through my collection and pick out shades to essentially work with that color story, and be doing swatches in that video too, but I'll also be showing you eye looks that I create with that palette that I've made with these Clionadh shadows as the center of the palette. So I'm really excited to start that series. I will have these two as the stars of the first video. But yeah, let me know which shades would you choose to be the center of a build your own kind of palette, and I'll definitely have that in the future videos in the series. But that's it for today, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!